Cool Shot is a budget sports game that was developed by DigiCube and published by Phoenix Games for the PlayStation 2 in 2003. And this game focuses on the popular pool game, or billiards as it's called. So the game gives you options to play in a multitude of different types of game styles and environments, playing different types of pool games from 8 ball to 9 ball, and just your typical kind of pool style games with their own rules to deal with. You also have different environments to play in as well, anything from like a living room setting to more like a club or kind of like a professional type of setting. And the goal is pretty much just to win games, so you have to try and pot the balls in a certain order. Just your typical pool game. If you've ever played pool or even snooker for that matter, you'll pretty much understand the whole rule set of what these type of games offer. And this is just another one of a long line of pool or snooker games that were released on the PS2. There's an absolute ton of them, to be honest, that were released on the system. But in fairness, how does this one stack up compared to all of the other games that would be seen on the system? Now, for what it does offer, it's simple enough to pick up and play, and it does have some nice graphics for what is represented on screen. But I will admit, in terms of the controls, it's definitely not as fleshed out or as polished compared to other games on the system. It can be very difficult to really manage your shots in terms of the accuracy, as the controls themselves can be quite clunky and sluggish, and sometimes even a bit too sensitive for their own liking, leaving you to struggle with trying to pot a ball. 9 times out of 10, even though you can change the different angles before you take a shot, like you can change the camera perspective to see where the ball could go, but trying to get the right angle on the ball or trying to hit it in a particular type of way can be very, very difficult, as the cue doesn't line up as accurately as you would like, especially compared to other games that I've played on the PS2 or even the PS1. The games that I have played before definitely are easier to get used to, and they play and feel so much better. This game unfortunately just feels a bit more on the clunkier side, and a game that should take only a few minutes to complete, you could literally be sitting here for an hour and not even pot a ball. That's how frustrating it can be at times. And even when you think you've got the ball lined up ready to hit it, you could end up fouling because you completely miss it. So it's very hit and miss in terms of how it plays. Now, I know that is the case for most pool games anyway, but at least with other games, the controls are a bit more refined to a point that you have some control elements and you can feel nearly kind of what's going on. In this game, the only way I found really to pot the ball really is to wait for the computer AI opponent, or if you're playing against another player, wait for them to make a mistake or foul, and then you could reposition the cue ball or the white ball on the table, and then you could literally have your pick of where to pot them. But then it leaves you open then for the next shot, and trying to get the next one is very, very difficult. While it does have some good elements and it does have some nice features, it is poorly let down by the hampered controls, in all honesty, and that's its downfall. But it is what it is. It's a budget game. These type of games, when they were developed, were never going to be created in a way that were going to be as good as mainstream games, in all honesty. So it is what it is. If you can get used to it and you can deal with some of the frustrating elements of the game, you will have a bit of fun with it, but just know that it can be quite frustrating at times. There are essentially better pool games on the PlayStation 2, in all honesty. But if you do have access to this, you can play it and see what you think for yourself. But if you are a fan of pool itself, it might be worth a try, but I'll leave that up to you. But I would love to know your thoughts on Cool Shot for the PlayStation 2, if you have played it yourself. And if so, are you a fan of pool games or snooker games in general on consoles? And if so, what did you think of this game overall? So be sure to share it down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be updated with future videos. And if you would like to see more content around other types of pool or snooker games also released on the PS2, you check out this playlist on screen to see more of those games in action. And I will see you all in the next one.